Hi, I'm Nancy. This is about the fifth time I've attempted to make this video, and I'm aware that there's unusual noise in the background, and until I learn how to edit that noise out, I guess that's the way it's going to be for now, because I want to get this done. So, if you would like a chance at your question being answered, go to my webpage, psychicearth.com, and send your question into the Sacred Garden Psychic, which is usually me. There will be times when I answer in writing form, and there will be times when I answer in video form. As I become more familiar with making videos that actually work, then I will most likely replace typing the answers out with video, because I talk a lot and it's much easier to share what I'm seeing and sensing when I'm talking rather than typing. So there was a young girl who wrote in who asked about another woman. Let's just call her B. Jessie is the woman who wrote in. B is the woman she's asking about. Jessie has been communicating and talking with this other woman, B, over the internet and Skype for about 2 years, and they actually met a year and a half ago, briefly, when Jessie was there in business. To give you a little background, B left a small town where she lived and was very close to the earth and had a big farm and animals. After losing somebody very close to her, this is what I'm sensing, the part about losing someone close to her, within her grief and not thinking as clearly as she normally does, left to leave to a big city in an apartment on the 10th floor with a woman who promised her the world and ended up being very abusive and abandoning her there in that little apartment. So here B is for the last couple of years. The woman still stops by every month or so just to yell at her and ask her when she's going to leave. Overall, just be very abusive. So here B is stuck in this apartment. Her feet are on the earth. She's not connected to anything spiritual. She's still in pain and holding on to the issues of rejection, and still hasn't grieved the loss of her loved one. So she has all those kind of issues going on, besides being a very creative, earthy, open, wonderful, loving person. She's just been kind of in this funky space for a couple of years. So in the meantime, her and Jessie have met online and become instant friends. Jessie has fallen in love with B over the last year or so, and has hinted at that, and is wondering if she could invite B to come and live with her in the beautiful, abundant sanctuary she's built out west, with beautiful gardens and animals, all of which B loves and is missing. Jessie is ready to take the next step. So, Jessie, I wanted to answer questions about timing a little bit, and I'll just say that because B is very slow to healing over the last 2 years and is still holding on to a lot of the grief, the fear of being rejected, she's in a funk right now. She's just kind of, she's not grounded. There's no earthy spot for her to put her feet on. You know, there's no sunsets or animals or all the things she loves so much. She hasn't been playing her music, her drums, her guitars, writing and painting. She's basically really lost, you know. And I think we all become that way at least once in our lives, you know. So, as far as timing goes, I would say by mid-January, B is going to be ready to make another move and to trust another person and leave her environment. Even though the environment she's in now is pretty dark and she's unhappy there, it will be reminiscent of what she did a couple years ago when she left everything she knew and moved across the country and ended up kind of abused and abandoned. And I have to say, this isn't her pattern. She hasn't always attracted people like this. That's a good thing. That's what attracted me to this question, because I know that you too, once she's in a healthy environment, are going to have so much to give to each other and so much more to explore and learn about each other. And there's so much hope here. The timing is so important. So I would suggest that you invite her to come for Thanksgiving, maybe 2 or 3 days, and just relax and unwind and be in the environment without any pressure, without you pouncing, because you have the tendency to want to pounce. You have the tendency to just dive right in and do everything now, and that's wonderful. That's why you have accomplished so much creatively in your life, and you've built this beautiful home. You came from a really hard past yourself, kind of plowed through the healing and just dove right in. B isn't this way. She's different, and you two balance each other out in that way, and it's a good thing. You're just going to have to learn to respect that you both have different ways of approaching life, and with time you will both compromise a little bit with each other. You know, and respect and honor that you each have a different way of approaching, but you can still accomplish just as much. You know? And I'm sure you'll do that. I feel you will, and that's why I wanted to invest time into this reading for you. So Jessie, I'll say to you, start out by asking her to come and visit in November, I'd say. Let her come and just absorb and soak up some of the warmth and healing in that environment that you created in the very core of your being, okay? Do not pounce on her. Just listen. Listen, let her wander around, find her own space, walk barefoot out in the warm garden, sit in the sun, and just let her be. You know, just love having her there. The words will scare her away. The words, I'm in love with you, I want you to live here forever. She's not ready for that yet. She's bubbling with all of the emotional poison. Let's say she's kind of internalized, and it's kind of just all purge, you know, kind of a pimple. It's not a very good comparison, but that's what it looks like to me. Spiritually, she's raw, you know, let it purge. So what's going to happen over the next few months, and until it does, she will not be ready to take on anything else, you know, because she is so raw and open and lost at this time. I can see past all that. I know you can too. Okay, so let's jump ahead because you asked about timing, and I can get off track here. By January 14th to the 21st, I was kind of meditating on this and just thinking about it and getting a sense. It's going to be just a wonderful, perfect timing to pounce all you want on her as far as I love you, you're the one I want, come live with me. She'll be ready to hear it then. So if you can be patient. Connections with soulmates tend to bring out the best and the worst in us, okay? So you have this tendency to just jump in and be impulsive. This is going to test that, you know? For the sake of love, you're going to find that you're going to take a deep breath, compromise, consider the other person, you know? You really want this person in your life. They're not really well at handling pouncers at this time in their life, so just, you know, it's comes with emotional maturity, spiritual maturity, and you're at the point where you're beginning to do that now. For as young as you are, I think it's wonderful. I'm so impressed with both of you. So let's jump ahead. I feel by February, March, she will be living with you in your beautiful and abundant environment that you've created, and be loving your animals, playing music with you, drawing. She's going to find a job about 25 to 30 minutes away. And if, I don't know what direction your house faces, but if you go out your door and go to the right and to the front, that direction, about 30 minutes away, is where she'll be working. I can sense that. And she's going to find things to be concerned about, and she'll make them into big dramas at first. You're just going to have to kind of laugh it off, not laugh at her. Just say, okay, this is okay. This is part of her being fearful, and not being quite sure about where she is and how it's going to happen or how it's going to unwind, kind of thing. But when I look a year down the road, after this point, you two are together, you're building a home, you have a couple of new animals. I continue to see water out back and feel as if you're going to be putting a new pond in, water lilies, ducks, painting out in the sunroom, making music together and doing your activist lawyer things together. I could say it's a beautiful match. And again, that's why I was attracted to this question. And I just knew that if I could offer a little insight about the timing, that it may just be the key to get this off to a good start. So just to kind of sum it up, wait until the holidays, let's say Thanksgiving. It's a real hard time for her. Just invite her to come and visit for a couple days. Watch her relax and tune into the earth, and some of that magic and healing start to activate within her, and you're going to be planting seeds just by being a warm, constant companion sitting next to her without saying a whole lot, about her coming back eventually. You won't have to. It's going to happen. And you don't want to risk scaring her off by saying it that quickly. After she goes back home, you two will be communicating again on Skype and over the phone, emails, however it is, communicating. And naturally, she is going to start to suggest perhaps she can come out there with you and stay a little bit longer. But you're going to know when she does this that she is thinking about a life with you. You're not going to have to say it. Like I said, the words might be reminiscent of this past relationship, so kind of let her say it and ease herself into it. It'll be worth the couple extra months you take being patient with her around using the words. She's heard a lot of words over the last 2 years that were not coming from a person's heart. Okay, they're coming from ulterior motives and a need to manipulate and control. It's alcohol type of behavior. So words just don't carry a lot of meaning for her right now. It's more about watching a person and what they do and how comfortable she feels being herself in their space and how she's allowed to be herself, not pushed or pried or manipulated or pounced on. Okay? So, that's it. I feel before the springtime comes, she is going to pick up and leave and come be with you. And this really is one of those true love stories. This really is one of those relationships I see that could go on and on and on, because there's so much more to discover about each other, and you seeing this within her has just been enough for you so far, because you're intuitive yourself. You can see, who she is, what she has to offer, how she's just kind of bearing all of her creative energy and the parts about her life she's passionate about. She's kind of bearing that right now. But you know they're there because you've talked about them. You know the depth of her soul and her heart. And you both have a similar passion. You're going to do so much more together than you can do alone. I've contemplated not saying this because you didn't ask about it. I see you two working on a project together. It looks like a book. It looks like you may do the writing, she may do the artwork, or she may do the writing, you may do the artwork, or both. I'm not sure what the book is about yet, but it has a healing context to it. And it really seems geared towards children. You never talk with me about having interest in writing, but I could see you two working on it together. So, I don't always understand what comes through, but I have to bring it up. So it would be great if you keep me posted. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear an update, maybe around Thanksgiving, and then again after that, around springtime, when hopefully she's packing up and moving across country and getting out of that dark little apartment with one plant in the window to this oasis of beauty. And I'm just really excited about what I'm seeing and sensing. So I hope we get back with you. And that's it for now. And I'll try to answer another question in the next couple days. So come back and watch. Thank you, everyone who is watching.